We're on.
Okay, what do you think an action film is?
Patrick?
Action film is when characters put in a lot of intense situations and they have to try and find their way through the easiest routes.
Henry?
I think an action film is just a lot of violence and a lot of stuff like gunfights and a lot of tension and stuff.
I think that an action film has a lot of fast-paced scenes. That has a lot of violence and usually guns, explosions, hand-to-hand combat, martial arts. That's it essentially. Okay, so next question,
And what are the problems of defining an action film?
Patrick.
What are the problems of finding an action film?
Define it,
Yeah.
Define.
What do you think the problems are?
Villain kidnaps innocent bystander and the hero has to try and save them, etc., etc.
I think the problems of defining an action film is like multiple genres. You can get confused with multiple genres.
Yeah. You have action and thriller, they sort of fold in on each other a bit, so it can be a bit hard to differentiate which is which. So yeah, I think that's a good point. Yeah. So next question,
What are the typical symbolic codes and conventions of an action film?
Patrick.
Car chase scenes, which end with just the cars crashing and someone dying. Gun showdowns. Yeah. That's it.
I think it's a lot of, well, at least for cinematography, I think there's a lot of pan shots, close-ups, over-the-shoulder shots are heavily used. And for like characters, it's all kind of the same. It's like, well, not always. Sometimes you get like anti-hero, but there's always this one main guy, like really amped up guy.
Yeah. I think. Sorry, what was the question again?
What is symbolic codes and conventions?
Symbolic codes and conventions. So a lot of fast-paced, guns, explosions, a person who is in it to win it. Maybe they're retired and this is one last score for them to settle because it's an old enemy. It's personal. It's personal for them.
Okay, what are the typical technical codes and conventions of an action film?
So, Patrick.
Technical, when it comes to using different camera shots, not even camera shots, editing like silhouette shots. They'll use in a lot of action films. It's obviously fast-paced when it's edited. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. It's definitely the editing too. There's the editing used in action it can be quite short and snappy, or it just depends really.
Yeah, no.
What do you think?
Yeah. I like editing. There's definitely a key thing with action films. If you mess up the pacing of different cuts and stuff, it can sort of throw you off and takes away from the whole sort of magic of watching a fight scene or sort of a deep car chase. And I think it's really important. Yeah.
So what are the key differences between a superhero and a spy movie or films?
Well, in a superhero film, normally the main character has one objective, saving people, and in a spy film, normally the main character would go out their way to do something, even if it means harming one person to save everybody else, unlike the superhero which would not harm anybody to try and save everybody.
Yeah.
Hold it there.
What?